Hey everyone, it's Emiknightly here. It's October, and in the spirit of the spookiest of months, and a callback to playing Outlast last year on my channel, I wanted to make another video for it. So let's do a top 10 scariest moments of Outlast. Wah! And let's follow that up immediately with a disclaimer. There will be spoilers, and also, this is all my opinion. Maybe you found the naked dick swaying softly in the breeze the scariest part, and while I agree that that is in fact very scary, just pure dick isn't on this list because that's my opinion. If that's what you're here for, turn back now. But getting back into the thick of things, Outlast is a game that I have a love-hate relationship with. I love everything about it, but I hated playing it the first time because I was absolutely scared out of my goddamn mind, and sometimes I marvel I was even able to get through it. When I first played Outlast, I was a complete horror baby. I had watched some playthroughs of various horror games, Amnesia, Slender, The Usual Suspects, but I hadn't ever touched one myself, cause fuck that. Outlast is a first-person indie horror game made by Red Barrels, whose basic gameplay is similar to that of a number of recent horror titles. Namely that the character you play, Miles Upshur in this case, is incapable of combat, and your only real defense against the threats to be found in Mount Massive Asylum is your light source, a camcorder whose night vision uses up its battery at an exorbitant rate. So be prepared to be whimpering in the dark if you scout the enemies too much or just take too long progressing. This isn't to say there's anything wrong with that type of gameplay. I mean, I wouldn't love Outlast as much as I do if I thought this brand of horror gameplay had nothing to offer. But what really makes Outlast so strong is its world building and the way it crafts its specific brand of fear. It's not so much about the jump scare, but the lead up and the atmosphere surrounding the scares that keep it with you once the initial adrenaline rush has subsided, and it leaves you scared, and you have to take 20 minutes to yourself and make yourself some hot chocolate and sit and think about your life. I don't even like being scared, but they're so good in this case I can't help but go back again and again. You've made a masochist out of me, Outlast. But now that we've got that shocking personal revelation out of the way, without further ado, let's move on to what people have come here to see. My top 10 scariest moments in Outlast. Let's go ahead and start out this list controversially by putting in the first real thing that scared me in Outlast, but will probably have a lot of people thinking nothing of it. Be sure to watch closely. Did you see it? This is a trick question because there's nothing here to see. It's this stupid sound. When I play horror games, I take a lot of pause breaks just to kind of resituate myself, yeah? And it's like Red Barrels knew this immersion breaking tendency and just wanted to punish me for it every single time. Seriously, every time I unpaused for the first 2 hours of gameplay, I thought that the music was playing because something is happening to me. You can't even trust the pause screen in this game. I'm a changed man. Upon entering the asylum, you're met with a few spooky instances such as a TV turning on and the closing of a door, leaving you primed for the first real scare. And even though I knew this one was coming when I first played it, it still got me because I didn't expect the audio. What exactly is this? Is it meant to be Miles screaming? This guy can't be the one screaming, he doesn't have a head. All I know is that when I'm playing Outlast, I'm Miles, so when he's screaming, I'm screaming, or when he's making all these stupid scare noises, I'm stupid and scared too. Having Miles' reaction be ambient noise is great for filming with a sense of dread, because how am I supposed to be brave in this game if even the fictional main character isn't? Listen to him. Either way, number 9 has to be Miles Upshur's, but maybe not, scream in the first real scare. Way to roll the red carpet, Red Barrels. This next scare is another one that's early in the game while you're still in the administration block. The setup is that you need to get into the security office so you can unlock the front door, but you need the keycard to get in. After some amount of exploring, you will end up at this hallway where you will encounter this twitchy little fellow. Of course, if you're anything like me, you'll crouch walk your way around him, only to enter the next room and be greeted by these guys and this fucking music. The level of apprehension to be had right here only grows when nothing at all happens. You're safe again, so you grab the keycard and this is the trigger, right? Now these guys are gonna get you? Nope. They're still just content to watch the television and a very clever commentary about the state of society and loss of individuality of the digital age that allows for the loss of self so readily. Oh wait, no. That's Persona 4. But hey, how about that dancing all night though? So now you've had the opportunities for a scare go by, and at this point you're either at the edge of your seat waiting for the ball to drop, or you just figure you're safe. But no, because then this happens. It really shows that Red Barrels isn't just going to utilize every scare possible, but they're going to go for quality over quantity. Also, it gets 10 times creepier when you realize he's just asking you to get his stitches out because he's literally stuck in them. In the prison block segment of the game, you'll find yourself in, well, a cube-shaped area of cells. A prison block, if you will. There's a lot to see and hear in this section, and if you're anything like me, you'll find yourself looking around at all the inmates who are locked up in their various cells. Or at least you'll be exploring until you turn around only to be met face to face with this. He's not an enemy, all he does is follow you around as long as you stay on the ground floor harmlessly, but he's effective in that even after the initial scare, the way he just slowly follows you is it's disconcerting. It erases any feeling of safety you had on the ground floor, and even if he doesn't do anything, I just want him to stop. Look, even when you climb up, he just stands there for a while. I'm sorry I have an itch, guy. You're just spooky, and I don't want to scratch your itch. But you can be number 7 on my list, and maybe we can be friends first? There's a particularly mean section of the game where you drop your camcorder and you have to navigate Mount Massive truly by yourself. You have a relatively uneventful adventure to reclaim it, and just as you have your baby back in your eager little hands and that night vision back in the darkness of your life, you turn around and see this! Oh, and now your camera does this! I mean, I have to give them some credit. They at least waited until I had my camera back, but at the same time, screw them, they're spooky! Also, they're number 6 on the list, so I guess congratulations, you assholes. No matter how scary a game can be, generally speaking, you can find comfort in the game mechanics themselves. I feel like this is a concept horror games struggle with, keeping players scared even when they've learned how to game the system, so to speak. At a certain point in Outlast, you start to realize that enemies always pick the locker you are not in, providing they didn't see you enter it. Being in a locker doesn't have that same anxiety surrounding it once you figure this out. Instead of that fear that they will open your locker, it instead becomes a waiting game as they always check the other locker. That's why it's both shocking and terrifying when Chris Walker fucks with his established mechanic and pulls you out of places he has no right to pull you out of. And as far as I'm aware, with a few playthroughs under my belt, he's the only enemy who will do this. What the hell, Outlast? You and me had a good thing going, but now you're making the AI all smart and shit, and I don't know how to handle this, it's weird. Once this happens, all prior confidence in this hiding routine is gone, so good luck feeling truly safe ever again. I'm almost mad how effective this is in making you paranoid for the rest of the game, but I'm also impressed, so Chris Walker yanking you out of a locker is number 5. In the first chapter of Outlast is, I would argue, one of the most difficult sections of the whole game. They're really throwing you in the deep end here, but it's only mostly figuratively, because the water doesn't even actually reach your knees. In this segment, the power has gone out, so you need to go downstairs to the flooded basement, which is cloaked entirely in darkness, pull 3 different levers, while dodging a variant, and then manage to double back past him to finally turn on the lights. This is a completely new area. It's the first time you're really experiencing all-encompassing darkness in the game. The sound of you walking in the water alerts the baddie to your presence, and it's the first real chase you will experience, assuming you managed to simply hide from Chris Walker before. It is enough to leave you lost, screaming, and running into dead ends in the dark for a longer time amount that it should necessarily take you to get through that area. Hey, you know the spooky dicks I mentioned before? Here they are, but they're off screen of course, you sick fucks. Go to Tumblr if you want to see twin dicks. I guarantee you they have a plethora of Outlast dick pics. This isn't even a stab at Tumblr, I'm personally impressed. But even if they didn't have their dicks out, the twins in Outlast just make you feel unnerved. They appear a couple times in the prison block segment, saying cryptic, cannibalistic things and then just gossiping about you like you're not even there. It's rude.
Maybe.
But what's even ruder is their shower shenanigans. You finally gain access to the showers, and once in, encounter this atmospheric stretch of hallway. You can hear the rain, the wind is gently blowing through the drapes, and wait, what the hell is that? The view of someone just walking calmly straight towards you out of the darkness is enough to make you want to go right back where they came from, but oh wait, there's the other one behind you! It is an intense moment of feeling completely trapped to the point where you just instantaneously zero in on the open window and go leaping right out of it. Not because this has been a mechanic that worked until this moment, but because that's what I would do in real life. It's a great moment of terror that mixes with my real life instincts perfectly, and that's why this part is number 3 in my top scariest moments. Outlast, for the most part, takes place in relatively closed areas, rooms, hallways, enclosed fences, those sorts of things. That's why, when you are stomping around the sewers, which are already spooky as is, and you come out into the waist-deep water in this big empty space with only the knowledge that somewhere out there, someone else is in the water with you, the level of dread that filled my fragile heart was incredible. You don't really know where you need to go exactly. The night vision camera is basically useless and entirely terrifying because of its limited range, and you cannot run half submerged in the water. It's an amazingly real feeling of being stalked while being helpless to do much of anything about it other than hope that you spot the exit before you get spotted. As you progress through the game of Outlast, you start to encounter mentions of some entity known as the Wall Rider, but it's unclear whether it's real or something the pages at Mount Massive simply believe in, until you catch your first glimpse of it and it starts to become a looming threat in your mind. At the same time, you are teased with the possibility of the exit, which you ultimately return to, and hey, isn't this great? We finally get to go outside and get out of the spooky asylum! Except it's not at all. It's not great at all! The game teases you with salvation only to ultimately make that salvation utterly terrifying. Occasional flashes of lightning and the present rain make your night vision a confusing experience where you can't quite see with it on, but you definitely can't see with it off, while at the same time you keep seeing and hearing the hint of the Wall Rider zooming around. Who decided it was even a good idea to go outside? Let's never go outside again. I'm sorry for all I said, Mount Massive. Please, please take me back. I never meant to leave. It's always been you, Mount Massive. You finally get back inside and you have a moment of reprieve away from the Wall Rider taunting you all over the place, only to open the door and be presented with this? Who decided this was fair? Just when you feel some amount of safety, but at the same time have all those residual nerves of being outside, the real threat just suddenly launches itself at your face. This was undoubtedly the moment of Outlast that messed me up the most. I had to take some personal hot chocolate time after this. The rudeness of the scene just ramps up when you realize that you can actually only see the Wall Rider fully formed when you have night vision on, meaning that the device through which you have been comforted by all this time is now actively working against you to scare you the most. The camcorder has betrayed us all. The way this entire section just ramps up your anxiety only to have your most handy tool work against you when you least expect it is why I think meeting the Wall Rider face to face for the first time is the scariest part of Outlast. But hey, it is pretty funny if you just slam the door in his face though. There you have it, the moments in Outlast that I found personally the scariest. It is enough for me to make like this variant and decide, you know what, I think I'll stay inside and ignore Mount Massive. Thank you very much. 0 to 5 stars on Yelp. Would not recommend for psychiatric help. Too spooky. Or at least it would be if it wasn't for the fact that I was already in love with the game. I used to think it's the storyline and the way it was presented that kept me enthralled despite the scares. But you know what? At one point I realized there was something about me that even loves the scares besides the simultaneous heart attacks they offer. And I think it's because they're all pulled off in such an effective and well thought out manner. What are some of your guys' favorite scares in Outlast? I feel like horror can be very subjective, so I'm interested in hearing your thoughts on the matter. Man, I just love Outlast. I want to play it again already. I'm gonna end this video so I can go do that. Happy Halloween, everyone. It's too early for Halloween, but happy Halloween. Hey everyone, if you are interested in my original Outlast Let's Play I did last year, which is my first time playing the game, you can click here, or if you're interested in another horror series from me, Soma, you can click over here to start that playlist. Yay!